For modern Muslim entrepreneurs diving into the world of investing while staying true to Islamic principles, it sometimes can be both exciting and challenging at the same time. And in a way that you gotta navigating the financial landscape requires a balance between chasing your business dreams and still upholding your religious values. And this video is tailored specifically for the contemporary Muslim entrepreneurs, exploring the basics of halal investing. And my goal today is to provide simple insights, ensuring that you, as a whole, are gonna have a big ventures into the realm of finance and your choice align with your faith. Islamic finance, what it really means is that sometimes it's like handling money in a way that follows the rules from the Quran and the teachings from our beloved prophet. And it's about you sticking what is written in this holy text and steering clear of things that are a big no-no. The main idea here is to bring some goodness into people's life through money matters. It's important to note that just because Muslims are involved in something with money, it doesn't automatically always make it Islamic being. Islamic is more about following the rules in the Quran and the teachings of our beloved prophet, and it's just more than having Muslim doing stuff. In simple terms, Islamic finance is about making sure that money stuff benefits people and society. If something claims to be Islamic but doesn't do better than regular money things, I wouldn't say might be missing the point. Now let's talk about the three big things that you're not supposed to do in Islamic finance. These are the biggest red flags straight from the Quran itself. The first one is called riba, which means interest in Arabic, and in the past was about lenders jacking up debt when the borrowers couldn't pay on time. And the Quran warns against it, saying,
يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وذروا ما بقي من الربا إن كنتم مؤمنين.
If there's a loan and the lender gets more money than what they lent in the deal, it's a big red flag. And Islam say no to paying or receiving interest, wanting things to be fair, and ultimately money matters. The second thing is maisir, which is Arabic for gambling and games of probability. It's considered bad in Islam, and in the old days there was a game where people bought a camel, divided it, and used arrows to decide who got what. Like Islam doesn't like maisir, along with alcohol, gambling, and decision based on games of chance. It's seen as something really dirty from the work of shaitan, and if an activity doesn't bring value to society but involves risking something for personal gain, it's considered as maisir. The third thing is garrah, an Arabic term for deception of uncertainty, and this is about recognizing and staying away from situations where information is hidden, or maybe the outcomes are uncertain and leading to the disputes and conflicts. To figure out if a product involves garrah, you should ask yourself a few things. Does it align with the mercy and provided benefits in line with Islamic principles? Are there non-Muslims customers? Their presence can show if a product is genuine or not. And also, what's the opinion of neutral parties, especially the government? And if the government thinks a product involves interest, it's a big clue about its conformity with Islamic principles. In simple terms, Islamic finance is about doing money things in a way that's fair and ultimately benefit people and follow the rules from the Quran and for our beloved prophet's teaching. It's like a guidance to making sure money matters is 100% in a good way. Now, before we dive into the nitty-gritty of halal investing, let's talk about something important, like purifying your intention. Remember, it's like cleaning the windows before you're looking outside. You definitely want a clear view, right? And as a Muslim, we start any big thing by thinking about why we are doing it and making sure it lines up with making Allah happy. The Prophet, peace be upon him, says something smart. Action are judged by intention. It's like saying why would you do something is just as important as the thing itself. So when it comes to investing, we want to make sure our main reason is to please God. And it's not like saying you can't have other goals as well. I mean, of course you want to make money and have a great life. That's normal. But deep down in your heart, the core reason should be about making Allah happy. And this matters because having a clear and pure intention gives you a strong guide for making good choices. And if you are doing it to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it doesn't make sense to do things that He wouldn't like just to make money. Now we have cleaned up our intentions, and let's move on to the first thing that we need to learn about halal investing. It's like you making sure that the compass is pointing in the right decision. It's just like when you're praying. Before you start your journey. So right now, let's talk about the first thing, knowing where you are financially. It's kind of like checking your fuel gauge before a road trip. Like, you don't want to run out of gas in the middle of nowhere, like for a desert, for example. And for us Muslims, it's even more important because our souls are considered not fully settled until our debts are settled. And after we are gone, so you have to understand your financial situation is not just practical, it's actually really crucial. And let's talk about the second thing, setting clear goals. It's like a bit like planning your route, saying I want to be rich, and it's like saying I want to go somewhere far. Like, it's too vague. Like, you need to be specific, clear goals. You need to make more money, or maybe spend less, or spend more time with your family. What do you do on your own? What do you owe? Knowing these details shapes your thinking and helps you figure out, and it's ultimately helps you achieve your goal within a specific time frame. Sharia compliant in stock investing. Alright, now is what we have got our trip planned, and let's make sure we are talking about the right route in the world of investing, especially when it comes to stocks. We want to make sure our money is hanging out in the right places, following the rules set by Sharia compliant, like making sure your snacks for your trips are halal and you wouldn't want anything smell fishy. So when it comes to investing in the stocks market, there's a term that you need to know, Sharia compliant. It's like your checklist to make sure your investments stay clean and in line with Islamic principles. And here's the deal, not all companies are perfect from halal perspective. It's a bit like finding the perfect friend. It's kind of tough, but we should aim for our best. And Sharia screening is like checking if companies are doing something, tricky or not. And we want to avoid shady business, interest business based deal, and definitely anything unethical. So I want you to think of it like this. You wouldn't buy a snacks that are not halal, right? Similarly, we want to invest in companies that follow the Islamic rules. Even though no company is perfect, our target is zero impermissible activities. So when you are investing in stocks, remember to keep it halal, like choosing halal snacks for your trip. Check if the companies are doing things that align with the Islamic rules or not. And then let's talk about something important, finding stocks that are actually like the good snacks for our financial journey, which is like every people want to hear about. We want to make sure that they are not only tasty but also follow the rules of Islam. So ultimate question, how do you find these halal stocks? When you own a stock, it's like being a part of an owner of a company. But here's the thing, you might not have full control. You're a minority owner. This means that you don't carry the same weight as someone steering the whole company, which is the major shareholder. And if we were super strict and said all stocks are not good, it would be like saying no to every snacks in the store. So it's about you finding a sensible balance for yourself. And general question for screening halal stocks. Now let's get practical. The first step in our screening process involves asking a straightforward questions. Does the company increase the amount of kindness and maybe goodness in this world or not? And simpler term, does it provide products or services that make positive impact and offer relief to the customers? Moving on to specific checks. We're not making things complicated, but let's break it down a little bit. Check number one, revenue sources. We want to know where the company's money comes from, like the cash flowing in. Ideally, it shouldn't be earning from activities like alcohol, gambling, or pork. So we use simple rule. If more than 5% of company's total revenues from non-halal activities, it raised an actual concern, and this helps us keep things in check without overcomplicating the whole process. Check number two, relying on interest. So let's talk about how the company deals with interest. We keep it straightforward and we check if the company heavily depends on interest income or expenses using the 5% rule again. We ensure that these ratios compared to total revenue and operating expenses are reasonable. And it's about you making sure that the company isn't tangled up in excessive interest related matters. Third check, ESG stand for environmental social governance. Moving on, we look at the bigger pictures. The company impacts on the ESG. We want to see if it treats everyone and everything around it with respect, and it's gonna no complex jargon here. Is about ensuring the company operates ethically and it doesn't engage in serious violations. So when you are out there looking for halal stocks, remember to ask yourself that general questions about goodness, and when you are checking specific things, keep it simple and look at where the company's money is coming from and how it deals with interest and its overall impact on this dunya. So let's wrap up our video, and here's a little reminder for you guys. Investing is a journey, it's not a sprint. And take your time, you learn along the way, and make sure each steps align with your values and your faith. Hey, if you found this videos helpful, don't forget to click down that like button and subscribe for more content about business and investing in general.